Welcome. This is Mudding with BEAGS, episode 47. And I hope everybody's doing well today. And I think we'll just go ahead and get right into it and see what's going on down in these pictures of the Mudflood civilization that we have come out of the mud from. So, Beagle, while you ain't doing nothing, roll them credits. Let's go mudding.
What is it? Is it treasure map?
Okie dokie. And here we have Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, Philadelphia, PA, and this is circa 1900. Let's see what we're gonna find up in here. Ghost Man. There's Mudflood Winder. Another Mudflood Winder down here. This fellow's covering up Mudflood Winder. He might be working on pavement, like I don't know. That's pretty. And see, all this is brick, and this is all, it's got facade over it. So all these are brick buildings. Old ether lights have been converted to gas lights, it looks like there. They pounded this into the masonry here. So I-805. Let's see. I can't read that sign too good. More ghost folk. Check this light out. How weird is that? I think those were converted from ether lights to gas lights. And then, to electric lights. Boss man right there, in case you need to know where he is. Looks like this wall is flared out at the bottom. Hard to tell though. I don't know, just got a flare look to it. Got Mudflood Wanderers down here. Fred's over here somewhere. Fred is the horse that built America, in case you're unaware and uninformed. Look how these windows have been blocked up here with the brick. This is a beautiful building. I guess they decided to vanilla sky this photo. It's very, very clear on the background. Now, I can't say for sure. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me as a red flag for vanilla sky, but it's possible. Phoenician shell up here. Let's see. There's your diamond symbology. You got your as above, so below. Looks like a rose window. And this statue's just so weird. It's got no head. I wonder why. Why did they take the head off there? This is interesting how it's these two pieces here. Facadings are different. It's a very artistic building. Beautiful. Yeah, brickwork. I guess that's brick. It looks like brick. I was hard to tell. It's pretty either way. It's nice. A little too nice for, 1900. Look at that arch. Man. There's an opening window there. See, it's a curved window. It's opening up. In 1900, we've already blocked up windows. We've already put bricks over these. Now, why did they do that? Well, I don't know. It just seems way too soon. Looks like a lion there. Big old arches. Delhi Mutual. So wait, what was that? Is that a lion? Kind of hard to tell. Da da da. Diamond symbology there. Little tiny tourist fields right there. Itty bitty little tourist fields. That's. I think that's brick. I know it's hard to tell. Damn, it looks like brick, but then it doesn't look like brick. I don't know. That's hard to say. I can't say 100%. It's hard to make decisions about what you're seeing in some of these photos. I mean, you can't make it's not very scientific to guess something. A lot of that going around these days. Looking at pictures and guessing things. A I guess this looks like this, and I guess it looks like that. I mean, you know, that may be brick, it may not. Either way, it's cool. This right here is what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's move on. Got 1865 Charleston, South Carolina. Meeting Street near Broad Street. Michael's Church in middle distance. That's this. Photograph of Federal Navy and seaborne expeditions against the Atlantic coast of the Confederacy. I don't know what that means. Photograph of the Federal Navy and seaboard expeditions against the Atlantic coast of the Confederacy. I don't know what that. I'm not for sure what they're trying to say there. There's Fred. Fred's the horse that built America. I guess they didn't put down no cobblestone on this street. I don't know. Sure looks like a bunch of mud. I don't know. There's a brick sitting there. I wonder if the whole street melted and left this one brick. And look how we got trees in the middle of the road. That's odd. Same thing on that side. That's very weird. Old building. Charleston is so old. Looks like a 4 with the 4 lines and not the 4 with the V to me. Hard to tell though, it's not clear enough. That's interesting. Looks like it's got this thing looks like it has bullet holes all in it, don't it? Oh, that's weird. Porthole. Look how large this is compared to these just tiny people. So big. There's a porthole, probably a wind catcher. I don't know what this thing is. Could be a hitching post, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing a whole lot else. Oh, you know, got gas lamps, which they could have been free energy lamps, ether lamps, prior to us taking over, but I don't know. This is Annapolis, Maryland, 1917 graduation exercises, U.S. Navy Academy. And this is interesting, I think, because of all the huge arched windows. You might could make a case for this being a flat Earth asteroid, because you've got your vertical here and your X here, and your flat plane there, and you just mirror it as flat Earth asteroid. So yeah, that could be a flat Earth asteroid. Look how large these doors are. It's a big building. Looks like it might be a bell right there. They got big ass arch. Big, big, big. And there's the guns on the wall. I don't know if those are real or practice guns. Big old door right here. Look at these arches here. They look like they've been bricked in, but they look very similar. It's hard to tell, but they look very similar to the top. So I don't know what, you know. I don't know. We got Atlantic City, New Jersey, 1908, Marlboro Blenheim Hotel. Blenheim Hotel. Lord, that's a weird name. I'm not a wordsmith. Phoenician shell. What else we got? Crab. Guess a fish. Maybe a whale. Hard to tell on that one. I think Atlantic City is, see that mudflood window down there? I think Atlantic City is a mudflood city that was raised via viaducts. I believe the boardwalk, what we know as the boardwalk, is a viaduct. And I believe it hides the, I mean, look at this. What makes more sense, that this is ground level here, or that this is ground level? I honestly don't even think that's ground level. I think this thing goes deeper. But I mean, you can see the Mudflood winters right underneath the boardwalk here. Just saying. Beautiful. Just in Atlantic City, I mean, wow. Somebody really, you know, can you imagine the money that would have been spent to build Atlantic City? That looks like a Phoenician fish right there. I mean, maybe Phoenician scales? That's interesting. I'm not sure what that is. There's the diamond symbology right there. There it is again in a different form. And this Marlborough Hotel, man, this thing is just ridiculous. Diamond. I mean, that's just wicked. Diamond here. I mean, they had to get rid of this stuff. You know, some of that stuff was just so over the top. This is probably part of the wind catcher here. And the wind catcher is, you know, a way of conditioning the air. Oh, there's a crab. Phoenician shell. It looks like something was on top of that right there to me. They removed something there, I think. Diamond symbology. I got a star with a let's see, diamond. This hotel is just so wild. Ether antenna, another wind catcher. Yeah, the wind catchers are, what they did was they brought in air, and the air would then push down through, and they had these like passageways in the building. It's hard to explain, but the air could get through the building, and it would push, it would go down, and then the cooler air would push up the hotter air, and the hotter air would come out the other side, and it would condition the air and bring in fresh air. And I think it was very efficient back in the old world, because I believe the climate was much different. I think it was much milder, and I think mainly they needed fresh freaking air, because I mean, regardless of how perfect, you know, of a temperature you have, you still have to have clean air in a building. And so that's one thing they've had a problem with these big skyscrapers in these big cities, is getting fresh air into the buildings. And so they've had to modify them in order to accommodate ether antenna, accommodate the you know, the need for this air that's you've got to be able to have fresh breathable air, or you're dead. I mean, seriously, I mean, you would just die. I mean, you would not be able to stay in that building. Diamond symbology. That's just an interesting building to look at. And we got 1915 Express Track, 9th Avenue, L. L stands for elevated train, and it came from EL, elevated train. Get it? Construction along 9th Avenue elevated tracks at West 13th Street in New York City. There's Hitler. He guess he's making an appearance in front of a flat earth asterisk. Flat earth asterisk is the symbol for flat earth. I do believe that is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Big ass arches, arch windows. Boater hat. Check in the boater hats if you need something to look into. They're interesting. Little history. Got some Mudfloody action here. There's pavement light right there. All that business there is pavement light. Got to drop into the underground there. This pulley system here. Little crane. Da da da. Da da da. Da 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 da. That's a big ball of period. What is it? Period? I don't know what it is. Champagne. Hoorah! Hey. I never was a big fan of champagne. It didn't have enough kick to it. I mean, it tasted good and all, but it was like drinking water. I needed something with a little bit of oomph to it, you know. And just wasn't my thing. That's interesting how this L is higher than this L. That's kind of a trick of the eye. It looks like it's the same. I don't know. I thought that was the same on the same level, but you get into it, it's not. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Lady in uniform. Working man. Alright, moving on. And we got 1909, the Flatiron Building in New York City. And, you know, from time to time, people get confused that the Flatiron Building in New York and the Times Building in New York, the building that's in Times Square that you see the ball drop from, when they look at these old world pictures, from time to time they get confused between the two buildings. And the reason is, for several reasons. Number one, they're shaped similarly. The Times Building is more squarish with the edges, and the Flatiron Building is rounded on its edges. And the other reason is that for some reason, people throughout time, I guess putting it on the internet, have labeled the pictures wrong. And so you'll have Flatiron Building labeled as the Times Building, Times Building later labeled as the Flatiron Building. And when you're doing this research, starting off, it can be very confusing. And I've seen a few people make, you know, the rookie mistake of thinking that they're the same, although if you look into it, they're, you know, it's clearly not the same building. But it's just interesting that phenomenon happens. I don't know, just interesting. Not talking crap about anybody. It's just, it happens. I mean, you know, when I first started looking at these pictures, I even got confused at first. Like, why the hell does this building that's labeled Times Building and this building, this Flatiron Building, you know, these don't look the same, and they would be this, like they would both. I'd have two different pictures, both labeled Flatiron Building, and they look completely different. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And at first I thought that they had gone in there and redone it or something, or it was from a different time period or something. But then as I dug into it more, it became clear pretty quick. But it's just, you know, you got to, sometimes you got to dig harder than other times. And there's Fred, in case, you know, looks like Fred got him a hat. Good for you, Fred. That's Fred. That's the horse that built America. That'd be a good t-shirt right there. Fred, the horse that built America. Okay, that's funny. Check that out. Sorry, I'm rambling. Looks like an electric car, maybe. There's pavement lights right there, right there. It's probably going over here. It's hard to tell. Store basement to rent. Will divide. Yeah, I bet you got a basement to rent. Here's your coin. That's called a coin. Those of you can't understand what a coin is. They're ether antennas with possible mercury balls. Blah blah blah. Let's, what else we gonna find? Let's see. Lots of ladies in uniform. See the uniform? See the uniform? See the uniform? Ladies in uniform. That's probably pavement light right there, and there's probably pavement right here. That's pavement light right there. There's pavement light right there. There's that big ass arch. Ether antenna, ether antenna, ether antenna, ether antenna. Portholes. More portholes. Da da da. Da da. A lot going on in New York City. Flatiron building sure is a heck of a building. That's it's a looker, that's for sure. Check this dude out. Huh. Ether antennas up here. Cupola. Ether antennas. Big old arches back there in the back. Wind catcher. Onion dome. Ether antennas up here. Hey, that one's got a flag. Yeah, throw a flag on there every once in a while, throw you off. Poor hole. Let's see. Such a busy world. Check this out. Does that not look like a tractor trailer has just pulled up back in, the 1909? That's what it looks like. That's not what it is, but that's what it looks like. That looks like a coal hole cover right there. Old world fire hydrant. Same design almost all the way up. Except right here got a little something going on. Horseshit awnings, we added those. It's got nice little circle punks here. Got Tartarian lines all the way across here and all the way across here. In case you need to know, what's going on with that, and that's interesting. I recently saw a picture from the top of this building. Guy was standing up here, and he was looking out over the city. It was kind of neat. Kind of neat to see. Let's see. I think that's about all I want to do there. Boston 1906, Boston Ray shout out. Lincoln statue, Park Square, an interesting juxtaposition of emancipation and plumbing supplies. I think what's interesting is the fascistes. That's what I think's interesting. Here and here, that's the fascists too. And you got your horseshit narrative of George Washington. I don't think George Washington was a real man in our time. Let me be clear. I think it's possible George Washington was an old world character and they just stole his story or used the character and rewrote his story or something like that. I believe he was a dude that lived, but I don't think he was in our time. I think that's all horseshit narrative. A race set free and the country at peace. Lincoln. Rest from his labors. Yeah, Lincoln. I think Lincoln's horseshit too. I think he's a horseshit character also. Got the scroll. You got this man's looking at this man talking about, I will kill your ass with this chain when you let me go. I'm just telling you. Yeah, it's on, man. I don't care who you are. I think that the black men and women, the black folk, I believe they were here. They were Aborigines, and they were on this continent. And we came over here and started taking over buildings, and then we took the blacks that were the Aborigines, and we enslaved them. But they were indentured servants, and what that means is that they worked a contract, and at the end of that contract, then they were set free. But I think, I've been thinking about this recently, but maybe the Civil War, not Civil War, where the Emancipation Proclamation, basically, kind of maybe what it was that they realized that people were getting to the point where they weren't going to put up with this slavery shit anymore, and so they realized they needed to forgive the basically wipe the slate clean from the indentured servant contracts. Basically saying, okay, enough is enough. You're free to go. We're gonna let you go, and we're not gonna worry about this people being aggravated about people being enslaved in our country anymore. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's just something running through my mind. But it's I just don't believe any of that horseshit. Basically, when it comes to history for 1942, I just wipe the slate clean. And anything for 1850, you just erase it. I just can't even deal with any of that history anymore. I think the whole thing is made the fuck up, and it just needs to be rewritten. Got your ice dam here. Anyways, not sure what I'm trying to say. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm trying to piece this together just like everybody else. I'm trying to weed out what works and what don't work. When I find things that don't work, it's got to go. Boston, Massachusetts. Big up, Boston Ray. Old Colony Trust Company. Temple Palace between 1900 and 1915. Okay. And we got some pavement light here. And ventilation and underground here and here. Boy, that's an old ass trash can. That's pretty cool. Little sun symbol. Coal hole cover there. There's more pavement light right here across the front of the store. It's wet here, but not anywhere else. It's like a chunk of ice on it. Hey, it must be Central Casting. Come and get your costume. Busiest corner on Boston's busiest street. Old Colony Trust Company. Interesting. Tartarian lion. Scrubbed cartouche. And that's interesting because this would probably be made out of metal. So they're, this is like, it's interesting. Got a metal scrubbed cartouche. Very interesting. I'm trying to figure out what this is here. This thing. Well, that's a globe. That ain't a globe. Cornucopia. Kind of reminds me of fleur-de-lis there. That reminds me of fish scales and maybe Phoenician. That's definitely a Tartarian lion. That's a swastika. That looks like a star fort. Unscrubbed cartouche. It's nice to find those. Now this looks like it was added here around the wording here. That definitely looks added. But this right here, maybe not. I don't know. But then again, it could be, maybe they banged that in there. Venetian shell. Very interesting. That's weird. Where's that water coming from? Strange. Get your shoes. Check that out. That's pretty cool. That's pretty. Bum bum bum. Keystone. Looks like something was removed off that. It's got that fasciste look to it. It's not a fasciste, but what it reminds me of is a fasciste. Like almost like it's like a nod to the fasciste, or it's like maybe in that time they're like, maybe that did mean fasciste as a symbol. You know, maybe they didn't need to have the axe in there. You know, but that to me represents a bundle of sticks. You know, which is part of the fasciste. Just a thought. Thinking out loud. Arched windows. Horseshit fire escape we added. Okay, we got Brooks Library, Brattleboro, Vermont, 1905. Brattleboro. Okay. Never heard of it. Let's get back here and look. Nice big arches. Get your Vesica Pisces right here, here. That's the symbol for the male-female energy. Mudflood windows. I don't know if I say Mudflood windows as much as Boston Ray says I say Mudflood windows, but now I'm saying Mudflood windows just to make Boston Ray laugh. So I don't know if I normally say windows or if I say windows. I don't know. Y'all Yankees be saying windows. That's your problem. And we got a door underneath the stairs here, which is interesting. That's pretty. Interesting. There's those old glass electrical pieces. That's, whoa. Wiring's sketchy. Big ass arch. That's interesting how they do that right there. That's beautiful. Got an I-886. And here's a flat earth asterisk. Here's the other half. Just saying. Wonder if this represents the sub-rosa of one of these here. I don't know. It's all symbols. Got your pyramid. I mean, I see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, yeah, about 6 different flowers in that one little doodad there. That's insanity. There's a wind catcher, ether finial, doubling as a directional antenna, so you can see which way the wind's blowing. Huh. This is a modification here. I don't think that's original. Just an opinion. Got some flared out at the bottom here. Mudflood windows. And we got Buffalo, New York, 1908, Erie County Savings Bank, Niagara Street. And we got Boss Man here, right there. And Fred is on job as usual. Fred is the horse to build America, in case you were unaware and uninformed. And that's that. And we're going to look around Buffalo, see what we find. That's the eye doctor with his one eye. Last time I checked we had 2, but it's interesting how they do one eye. Zip it, Skippy. We're trying to do Mudflood research and you're interrupting. Nobody wants to hear from you. They're trying to listen to me talk. You want to come sit in my lap? Excuse me, folks. We're having a chihuahua interruption. Alright, sit down and hush it. Niagara Falls. There's your diamond symbology as opposed to below. Ham, bacon, and lard. Okay. Snow washing. Makes work. Okay. Don't know what you're saying there. There's your. Quit stiffing on me. I ain't edible. And you got Mudflood drop in right here and right here. Arc light right there. Big ass obelisk bringing in your ether. So there's your ether antenna. I believe these suckers just collected the ether and just, you know, torsed it out to the city. I think it was just, it's like a, you know, how do you power a big city? You put in a big antenna. This is like the, you know, these antennas are like individual building antennas. They bring in, you know, some individual, but this is like your Wi-Fi hotspot for, you know, energy. Just an idea. So many questions. Yeah, these little boys here. What a time. Look at that electric car. That's one of them touring cars. Arc lights there. Oh, we got Mudflood winders. Got a Mudflood drop in right there. Mudflood drop in right there. Looks like something going on there. You know, if you get up under the skirt of this building, you're going to find brick. This is all facade. Everything's facade. Ether finial. Check those suckers out. There's more ether finials up here. Ether finial, ether finial. Oh man, those things are cooking, man. This is probably the wind catcher right here. This business here. That and here. Zip it, I am trying to do some Mudflood research. What's your problem? I ain't got no cookies. I'm all out of cookies, so just go on. There might be some, but I don't know where they are right now. And there's an ether antenna, excuse me, folks. I don't know what's going on here. Hard to say. That could have the knob and tube light, wiring here with some incandescent light, but I don't know. I mean, it's got some round looking things here, look like incandescent light. Hard to say. Phoenician shell. Would you zip it? If you're gonna sit on my lap, you need to hush. What part of hush don't you understand? The huh or the ush? Okay, excuse me, folks. Pyramid symbology. Horseshit writing on the windows, that makes sense. Look at the craftsmanship there. That is just otherworldly. You know, I mean, we're just not capable of thinking that clearly. We're too, have our head up a smartphone's ass too far. Mudflood winders, bars on them, because you know we're going to build winders below ground and then stick them half above the ground. Then we're going to put bars on them because, well, that makes sense. Not thinking that, you know, somebody could just come up here and just tie off and then rip that out and then you're already in. I mean, come on, people. There's a barbershop pole, but where's the barbershop? I bet you it's in that Mudflood drop in right there. Look at the size of that arch. Incredible. There's your Tartarian lions. Got a balcony up here. That is a hell of a building right there. Oh my goodness, we got bricks in the ground here. So I guess these got melted and this over here is just mud. So, you know, what happened there? The mud didn't melt, but the bricks did? Come on. Damn. Moving on. And we got Charleston, South Carolina, Broad Street, looking west between 1900 and 1920. And we have a brick cobblestone road. Wow. And it's looking like brick. That's freaking amazing. Well, these ones blew up like a balloon into big old cobblestones because they melted. No, that's a brick. That's a brick. Excuse me. This is probably a stone here. Did the train lines melt also? Just saying. That theory is just itching to be destroyed. Cigar Store Indian, Virginia Carolina Chemical Company, Sales Department, blah blah blah, horseshit awnings, cool old bikes, soda water. A lot of bikes being ridden around here. Well, yeah, there's Fred right there. You can't see him too good. That's a tiny little wagon. Some sort of Mudflood window right there. Weird looking. Looks like a tourist field right there. Arch windows. Eagle representing the Phoenix, and Mercury. Scrubbed cartouche, arched windows, another scrubbed cartouche, more right here, all over. That's very cool. Da-dee-da-da. That's nice. The details on these buildings are just so cool. Look at those shutters inside the windows. It looks like grading, which would be pre-pavement light. Look how that's wavy right there. That's really weird. Very interesting. That's boss man. Not too often you see black men in these pictures. There's some more. That's interesting. They didn't take a whole lot of pictures of them in areas like this, at least. Carolina Portland Cement Company. How about that? Very interesting. Look at these shitty little phone poles. It's all crooked and shit. And we could build these amazing buildings with these ether finials up here and these wind catchers, but we can't build a straight phone pole to save our life. I mean, that just is very weird to me, that concept. There's some horse poo for the horse poo watchers, in case you're still around. Chicago, Illinois, State Street and Marshall Fields between 1907 and 1920. Man talking on a cell phone, looks like. Woman in uniform. Everybody's in their best, you know. Everybody is dolled up. Look at these outfits. I mean, how in the world are these people dressing like this? Prism transoms right here. And when you see prism transoms, you would look down for the pavement light because they were sold by the same companies. So it's a good idea when you see those to look down. Matter of fact, you find these today many times over pavement light because these got covered up. They were easy to cover up, and they, you know, they covered them up. They did several things. Number one, they covered up the front and used the front for signage, and they would brutalist facade them. And on the inside, they would lower the ceilings and install the HVAC and the plumbing. So these got covered up. But today, newer generations are buying these old buildings, and they're looking for more of a retro look for their building, and they're taking off those old crappy brutalist facades, and they're finding these amazing storefronts. And so that's why you're seeing more and more of them all the time. If you just look around your little town, your little city, your big city, I guess, at their antennas, if you look around, you're going to see more and more of those prism transoms. There's Fred. Fred's Horse Built America, in case you were unaware and uninformed. And got lots of men in uniform, lots of women in uniform. Got a clock. Clocks are expensive. It's probably a part of a wind catcher there. Scrub cartouches. A lot of smog in this city. It's got a Moorish look. Another clock there. Look at this big ass cart, man. That coal cart. Oh, okay. Interesting. What that is back there? Maybe a sign. I'm not sure. Okay, moving on. Circa 1900, City Square Soldiers and Sailors Monument in Cleveland. And there's Fred for his Horse Built America. Got your old world trolley. Women and men in uniform. Horseshit cannon. And these little symbols here, if I can find it, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, depending on the angle. One of these little symbols, I don't think it's in this shot. I don't see it. One of these little symbols right here is a star fort, which is interesting. And this obelisk, which is what this is, in case you weren't not aware, this obelisk is phenomenal to look at. I believe it's got Star Fort on here. Yeah, I think there, right there is the Star Fort. And these symbols, I think, if I'm not mistaken, are the symbols that are here too. And there is an underground under this. So that is definitely a known thing to have an underground. And I believe that this whole area, all of downtown Cleveland, is a viaduct. So I believe it is raised. And it looks like it's raised up roughly 30 to 40 feet just from, you know, what I can tell so far. The May Company. That's a really decorative building. This picture doesn't do it justice. I looked a lot into Cleveland. I found it very interesting. Ether finial up there. Excuse me, ether fencing right there. Sorry. That's an ether antenna, another ether antenna. Eagle representing the Phoenix and the Mercury, and another ether finial. And look at this obelisk. It's incredible. If old Torse Field. Check that out. Looks like it's I don't know. Might have clouds in there, but I don't know. It's awful clean for, I don't know. Hard to tell. Torse Field. Those I don't know. Tartarian lions. In case you like, you know, seeing old world symbols. Look at those crappy awnings. I mean, they're just terrible. We got a nice big drop down in the Mudflood here, all across here. I mean, why would you build like that? Why? I've not heard one single logical explanation that, yeah, cannon. That's not a cannon. I don't know what cannons actually were. I can't say, but I know they didn't shoot balls. There's a Mudflood drop in right there. Big ass arch. But I've not heard one single logical explanation for why people built like this. In the face of that, they just crumble. Well, and they'll stutter and they'll Frankfurt and Frankfurt. There was more building below the ground, and they could utilize it for building. I mean, they could use the space for root cellars and make apartments and and they Frankfurt and they Frankfurt and they Frankfurt and they Frankfurt. On and on and on and on. But they never give you a logical explanation as for why you would build your windows and doors below ground. It can't be done. And here's another brick cobblestone road. You know, I don't see any melted brick. Where's the melted brick? I see brick. Okay, brick. Just plain, ordinary, everyday, old world brick. But that's not even the truth. Okay, let me give you the truth. Okay, this isn't even old world brick. Okay, this is our brick. We put this brick here. You know why we put this brick here? Because this is mud flooded. Okay, this whole area was raised via viaducts. The entire thing. Okay. The ground level of this place is much deeper than you're looking at. So this was not on ground level. Okay? We did this. We made this cobblestone road here. Okay? This isn't old world. This road here, this is not old world. We did that. Our people. You know, somewhere around 1900. Okay, 1850 to 1900. We added this road here. Ain't nothing. There ain't no damn melted brick right there, because that is a road that was created after the mud flood. That is the new ground level that was created after the mud flood. Okay. And if it was melted, if by chance it was melted, it would have been melted long before, and it wouldn't have been here. It would have been on the original ground level, which is way lower than this. So please don't try to say that is. Please don't. Please don't. I can't take it. Circa 1905, Buffalo, New York, Main Street, bird's eye view, Buffalo. Coal hole cover, coal hole cover, coal hole cover. Going up the street, looking for what we see. There's something right there and something right there. Might be trapdoors, hard to tell. Got your mercury antenna there. Such detail. I mean, just amazing, the detail. Yet, why? These people can't even see this detail. You know? How the hell you gonna see that detail from this far down? You're not. So what is the point? Oh, well, we be in the building over here and you can look across the street. Okay. Alright. So the rich people are going to look at the rich people. Okay. That's the reason you did that. Okay. Maybe that, rich people do dumb shit every day. I guess that does kind of make a little bit of sense. Iroquois. Look at the ether antennas everywhere. Big ass. Look at that thing. Big old wing catcher up there. Big old dome. Probably a wind catcher there. That's pavement light right there. This hole right here is pavement light. That's all pavement light. Yep, definitely. There's pavement light right there. Looks like something was taken off there and scrubbed cartouche there and there. Yeah, people talk about how ash came down and that was the mud flood, and I just absolutely, I'm totally not thinking that's correct. For several reasons, but one of the reasons is that these roofs, if you know anything about construction, or if you've ever watched firemen go up on a roof and fall through the roof, you know that these roofs are not designed for tremendous amounts of load-bearing capabilities. They're not meant to get up on top of. Okay, they're just not. They're not like a floor, like we had, like you have in a build inside the building. You know, you got your joist, but they're not designed to be trampled upon. Okay, they're not designed for a tremendous amount of weight. Yeah, you can walk on them, yes, but if you have, you know, many feet of ash, which would be what you'd have, because that's how much, you know, material was the mud flood. I mean, some places it was, you know, very deep. If you had all that material on top of this roof, there's no way that roof would survive. It's not possible. These roofs were not designed for that. Okay, so that's one reason. One reason I think that is not accurate. Another reason is that you can follow the flow of the mud in these cities. Not as well today. You can today, but not as well today. And I've got some research I'll come out with later when I'm done playing with it. But it's to show that, you know, how they go in and when they change the grade of a city, how much it affects what the mud flood looked like. And I've got some excellent examples of that, and I'll bring them out when I'm ready. I want to, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. I don't like to put out horse poo. I'm kind of OCD. There's that weird symbol I keep seeing. Got your Tartarian lines all the way across here, all the way across going Tartaria. Got your Phoenician shells up here, and this is, I'm not sure what that is right there. What is that? That's a weird little thing right there. But yeah, I've got some excellent examples of regrading, and how the regrading of the ground level, how it just erases the mud flood. They're very clever at what they do. We got circa 1905, Eastman Kodak State Street Factory and Main Office, Rochester, New York. And we got Fred Wilbur. They're stopping off, and Callum Wilkinson. Callum, you're always looking for the water fountains for the horses, and there is one. That's a rarity. And got your pooper scooper man there. And we got a cobblestone road here made out of brick that, well, looks like brick. Does it look melted? Well, you be the judge. Do you know what brick looks like? Huh? Have you ever seen a brick in your whole life? Well, let's see if we can find a brick. Okay. Looks like this. That's what a brick looks like. Okay, that's a brick. There's another brick. Okay. And there's some more brick. Okay. Is it melted? No. No. And this isn't the original street level either. Okay, this is, you know, you got mud flood winters here. I mean, hell, you give a dog a bone, dog gonna chew on that bone till that bone is, there ain't no more meat on that bone. And right now, with this cobblestone brick bullshit, melted cobblestone shit, there's meat on that bone. I am savoring that meat. I'm eating it up, and it's a big bone, so I'm gonna be tasting on it for a while. Give a dog a bone, I'm telling you. Eastman Kodak. So they added that horse poo. Diamond symbology. These are interesting. You see these a lot. Just a plain circle. It's very simple, very straightforward. Check that out. And it's interesting. It's got it sort of looks like pavement light, but I'm not sure. This looks kind of sort of like pavement light here, but I can't be 100%. That's a coal hole cover. I'm not sure. That's a hard call. I'm gonna go with I don't know. Sometimes I can tell you, sometimes can't. There's your arc lights. Yeah, this doesn't look right here. Look at that. That don't look right. This was modified here. That's not right. They did some hanky panky through here. And you got an underground entrance right here. There's another one right there. A wind catcher there. Ether antennas. Alright, moving on. And we got circa 1906 Main Street, Memphis, Tennessee. Oh, Memphis. So cool. Those are probably granite curbs. It's a stone curb, There's Boss Man. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Boss Man. Okay. We got that out of the way. People like to keep an eye on old Boss Man. That looks very Phoenician. Got their antenna. Eyeglasses. There's Fred for his Horse Build America. What you looking at, boy? Peabody Hotel. Oh my God, I hadn't been there in a long. Is that what that is? How about that? Gosh, I stayed there a couple times. That's a nice. Oh man, that's what a great hotel. The ducks. Oh man, I forgot about this. I cut my hand so bad on the Peabody Hotel in Memphis. One time I was walking in and I got hooked on the brass on the door somehow on the panels on the door. So I don't even know how I did it, but I cut the shit out of my hand walking in there one day. It was just a freak accident. I forgot all about that. How about that? And I guess we're, trying to get the cobblestone road up. Yeah, does that look like a melted brick? Playing Operation now. Look at all the stolen goods, and we're going to put them in our store and sell them. Old world products. Prism Transom. The Memphis Queensware. Okay. See? Here this is a design of where you have brick and stone and they mix it between each other. It's a design. It's a type of design work. Got your Taurus field, arches, more Taurus fields. Yeah, so I have actually been here. I don't know. That's pretty. horseshit signage. Something weird there. Clocks are expensive. Oh, laundry. Wow. So we do get to wash our clothes. Got portholes. See, this one's open, this one's closed. Those are part of the wind catcher. I'm sure wind catchers were like anything else. Some were, you know, more expensive and worked better than others. Just like today, some, you know, there's a difference between a Ferrari and a Pinto. Yeah, I hadn't been at old. They I forget what I've stayed in several Peabodys. I know I stayed in the Memphis. I can't remember how they are. I know I stayed in the Orlando. Oh my God, I was in oh my God. Damn, it's weird how you see something and it flashes back memories. I was in the where was I? The Peabody Orlando hotel, and I was in the we were doing a some kind of show there, who knows, and we're doing some kind of staging show, and I was in the I was coming in for the night from dinner. We were out, and I was coming in the back entrance where the conference center is, and we were walking in. There's like an employee entrance, but it's also like a load-in area, and I was walking in. I'm walking down this hallway, and here comes this guy walking down the hallway with a dead body. And a guy had died in the hotel, and they were wheeling him out. So it was the coroner coming out with coming out with a body. So that was kind of creepy. But and then the every day, I think it's twice a day, they march these ducks out to a fountain in the Peabody. They do it at all of Peabody hotels. Anyways, the Peabody, and I think Elvis stayed at the Peabody or something. I don't know. Moving on. Circa 1906, Main Street, Pulaski, New York. Okay. Blah blah blah. And we got Fred. Fred is the horse that built America, and he is delivering something, not bricks. I've yet to find the Fred delivering the bricks photograph, but I will get it. Mark my words. I'll get it. I might have to Photoshop it, but I'll get it. So, anyways, we got to see what else we got. Overlooks harness and trunks. Okay. Drugs. Undergrounds. Must be a bike shop there. The arc light. Okay. Alright. What do we got going here? Alright, moving forward. City Library, Manchester, New Hampshire, between 1900 and 1920. Old World Fire Hydrant. Ghost Lady. Park Theater. Arched windows. Interesting little windows there. A world glass. See how it shimmers That's old world glass. Erected 1860, I think, is what it says. Founded 1854, so I-860. Vesica Pisces right there too. That's interesting how that's done. That's an interesting window. Big ass door. Mudflood windows. Windows below ground here. More windows below ground. More windows below ground and more windows below ground. And why do we have wood strips around the tree? Why is the tree in the middle of the street? And that is a granite curb. Granite curb. Do you know what granite is? That is a granite curb. It is not concrete. It doesn't look like concrete. It's not shaped like concrete. It doesn't have the texture of concrete. It is a granite curb. Sorry. Columbus, Ohio, 1905, Great Southern Hotel. Here we got an old world fire hydrant with a very weird top on it. Not sure what that's about. I think that might be an old hitching post. And we have a brick cobble street, which looks very, well, bricky, not melty. That is not a melted street. That is a brick street. I like a good rabbit hole, just better, just as good as the next feller. But not ones that are knee deep in horse shit. And we got arc lights, big ass arches, beautiful design work, big ass windows here. Look at that. That is just super duper. Ladies in uniform. Ohio Bank. Look at the size of that window. I don't know if that's one piece of glass or not, but if that's one piece of glass, that's a big ass piece of glass. I mean, this right here, I think that is one piece of glass. This right here is just to protect the glass from falling in, or it's a stabilizer. That's not two separate pieces of glass. That's not big enough to hold the glass. That is just literally to hold it up there. That is one piece of glass. That is a big, massive monstrosity piece of glass. I guess these are bricks that have melted and turned into what looks like granite stone. But what do I know? Got a barbershop here. Great Southern. Big ass door. There's Fred and Wilbur at Horse Built America. Ghost Man. That's pretty. Arches. Interesting little symbol. Looks kind of like a star fort. I find that interesting that we find the star fort symbol in a lot of places. You have to wonder if there's a connection. Phoenician shell. There's, I don't know, this is off topic, but I got to bring it up just because, well, I'm a Oak Island researcher. If you're not into Oak Island mystery, I highly suggest going down that rabbit hole because it is so interesting and fascinating. And if you're into history, you'll love it. It is one of the coolest rabbit holes that we got. But I'm big Oak Island fan. I think there's definitely something that is going on that island, Arclight, and but there's just the TV show that they have out now. It's called The Curse of Oak Island, and it's been around a while, but they got this commentator, and he just drives me absolutely up the damn wall. They'll find an object on one side of the island, and then they'll find another object on the other side of the island, and he'll say, a coin found on lot blah 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 on the northeast corner of the island. Could that be connected to the coin found on the southeast corner of the island on lot blah blah blah? And it's like I know that sounds stupid, but every single time they find something, I don't care if it's a piece of wood or a duck fart, they say, could it be connected? And it's like, yes, dumb fuck, it's connected. It's on the same island. No matter what comes out of the island is connected in some way. Could it be connected? Yes, it's connected. It just irks the shit out of me. I love that show, but I love the theory. The show's actually not great. Well, actually, if you watch the show enough, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know how to fast forward through the show, and it actually is very easy to watch. But if you watch the show week after week, it can be a kind of very slow show to watch. Continuing our sojourn in Jacksonville, Florida, circa 1910, Bisbee Building and Bankers Road. But yeah, it's I highly suggest that show. It's that commentator's just just. I know he's not the one. Somebody writes that horse shit for him. It's like, man, we got another, looks like a possible brick cobblestone road here, which, well, it's hard to see that one, but I'm just going to tell you that's not melted. I don't even really have to look at them anymore. It's just pretty obvious. There's a flat earth asterisk right there, in case you need one of them. Got their antenna. That's called a coin right there. It's a coin. It's an architectural term. It's a standard, pretty standard thing on these buildings. It's called a coin. That's something you should know, and if you don't know, then okay, this is odd. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I'm thinking that light came first. Just saying. That's interesting. There's Fred's Horse Built America, and that is Pavement Light right there. Pavement Light is glass sidewalks that light into the basements. And I've done quite a few videos on it. I plan to do more in the future. And this is prism glass, and it also let light into the buildings. These buildings would be 75, 80 feet deep, and they were built in time where they didn't have electric lighting. The best they had was gas lighting. It was hot, and it was not very bright. So they came up with the prism transoms to bring light in. The light would come in from the angle here, and they had little prisms on here on this glass, and it would shoot the light back into the building. And it helped out a lot. The only problem is it only worked during the day. Florida National Bank, Torres Fields. Scrubbed cartouches. That was a scrubbed cartouche. And yes, cartouche is an Egyptian word, but if you search the word cartouche, you're going to come up with the Egyptian cartouche. But if you add the word, if you search cartouche design or cartouche architecture, you will come up with these, and it'll explain to you what a architectural or design or an architectural design cartouche is. There is a difference, and it is called an architectural cartouche or a cartouche. I know there's been some speculation whether or not that is correct. It is correct if you do the research. That is a communications pole, and this would send out the communications for, I believe, telephone, possibly telegraph, but I'm unclear as to this was not around for very long, but it's a round piece, and they would trunk off right here. Excuse me. We got the eagle here sitting on a mercury ball, probably, or a representation of a mercury ball. So you got eagle representing your phoenix. You got that circle symbol again. Got a copal up here. I believe these are wind catchers. Just me thoughts. That's a ether antenna. I believe that's that hotel we looked at a few episodes back. The one with the Indians on it. If you remember, I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but yeah. Anyways, these are old ether lights. I does believe. It's weird how there's this crap sitting right here and here, like stuff's falling off the building. You know, why is stuff falling off the building if they just built these buildings recently, relatively recently? You know, you have to wonder that. We got Detroit, Michigan bicentenary celebration. Okay, floral parade, carriage of E. Bonner, and this is in 1901. And of course, we got Fred and Wilbur leading the charge. Hello, Fred. Ain't he cute? I have a Clydesdale that lives behind me, and he's so cool. He's so big, and he so don't put up with no shit. He just, that horse, you just know you're in the presence of something that will just stomp on you at a moment's notice. He's cool though. She looks high as hell. Maybe it's the flowers. Weird looking. Check out this house back here. Beautiful work. That's craftsmanship. There's flat earth asterisks, in case you need one of them. And you know, if you're new here, when I say flat earth asterisks, yes, that does look like a star. I'm not referring to the actual starriness of it. I'm referring to the points. You got your vertical, your horizontal, and your X, which is a representation of the flat Earth. So just so you're informed and aware. Former boss man. He's right. Retired boss man. That's boss man. Mudflood winders, in case you need them. And we got Detroit, Michigan. Great Yacht. Probably just butchered that avenue from Woodard between 1900 and 1910. And always the pictures will be in the description. You can go and do your own thinking and researching. Ladies in uniform everywhere. Cow scooper. People scooper. Clock with looks like 4 lines on the number 4, which is interesting. Check that out. Might be a blacksmith shop. I don't know. That's cool looking though. That is badass. Let's see. Arched windows all the way up. Dry goods. That's always been a weird name to me. The old stores were called dry goods stores as opposed to wet goods. I mean, I don't know. And did you not sell anything wet? I don't know. It's just a weird thing. That's a flat earth asterisk. There's many different forms of the flat earth asterisk. You just, once you start seeing it, you're going to see it more and more and more and more and more. It's going to freaking drive you nutty butters. Just cause. Big ass arch. Benson's Arcade. Arcade is a mall. That's what we would refer to as a mall today. There's Fred. Fred's a horse build America. He's delivering something there. That's good. He's got on the job. Got a big ass arch here. Partridge and Blackwell. Owen and Company. Wow. What a freaking world. There's another flat earth asterisk right there. You'll get, you know, you look, start looking for them. You'll get good. You'll get real good looking. You'll get real good at seeing them. Portholes. And look at that window. Kind of got a little line looking thing there, but I can't tell for sure, so we're not going to say. I think these are Phoenician ways. Look at this contraption. Got their antenna there and there. That is pretty. We got up here. Got urns, capacitors. And the bricks were, you know, they were the batteries, you know, so they stored the energy for what was going on. You're collecting all this free energy, you got to have somewhere to put it, and they just stored it in the bricks. Those are pretty curtains. Arc light. That's interesting right there. She's just standing there in that window. That's weird. Dry goods and draperies, but no wet goods. I don't get it. Detroit Dental Depot. Okay. Alright. Look at these uniforms, man. I mean, these people are always decked to the freaking nines. Look at that outfit right there. I mean, is that not a picture perfect outfit? I mean, that is so just wow. Just I thought girls today spent a lot of time on dolling up, but I mean, back then they were. Is this Sunday? I mean, that's Boss Man, in case you need to see Boss Man. I don't know, just it's amazing how dolled up they got. And this dude, I mean, I don't even know what to say about him. What are you doing, man? What is going on there? Got more brick, cobblestone there. Does it look melted to anyone? That there's melted. It's melted brick. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's all big and puffy. Smoke another joint. Get back to me. Detroit, Michigan. Penobscot. I can't even pronounce that. Lord, building 1905. I don't even think it's gonna tell on the. Oh well, this is a big ass building I can't pronounce. That's funny. Oh my goodness, there's Fred. In case anybody's looking for Fred, everybody likes Fred. I think people just show up to this show just to hear about Fred. That's okay, Fred. Fred deserved it. He built America, you know. America. Home of the brave, land of the free. Where you can pay your taxes or lose your land. There's your choice. Beautiful wrought iron work. What do we got here? Absolutely fireproof building. Okay. Wait a minute now. Why didn't y'all have that in San Francisco? Y'all had a little fire problem in San Francisco from what I hear. I don't know. Maybe that won't fire. I don't know. It must be some kind of new fire. That must be that new invented fire. I don't know. Some kind of special fire. Oh my goodness. Oh, this narrative's just killing me. I can't take it. Oh God, I don't even know where to go. I've got so much going on here. Why is there rubble in the street? Why? Why is the can there? What is that can? It's got a lock on it and it's got a top. What is that can? Spit on the sidewalks. What? I guess do not spit on sidewalks. God, what's going on here? You got a Mudflood window back here. That's a flat earth asterisk in case you need one of them. Oh goodness. Oh, there's a glass electrical piece. You know, used to, when I was little, you could find, all you had to do was pretty much go up to a phone pole and you'd find these on the ground. And we used to pick them up and break them. I wish I hadn't have done that because those are valuable. I didn't know they were, you know, trash at the time. At least we thought they were trash. Cornucopia. There's an unscrubbed cartouche. Man, that one's got a lot going on it. I don't know what's going on there. The Casadas. I never can say that word right. Anyways, the staff with the serpents entwined. Casadias. I can't say. I am not a wordsmith. I am not a wordsmith, but that is a rose. Sub rosa there means keep your mouth shut. What stays here says, what's said here stays here. Torres Field. That's a beautiful building. Good grief. That's purty. I don't care what you're trying to think. A scrub cartouche. Old ether lights. Fleur de lis, that's a flat earth asterisk. It's a symbol for flat earth. It's more of a symbol. I shouldn't say flat earth asterisk. I guess it's a symbol for flat earth. That's a better, that for the fleur de lis, I think that's a better thing to say. I'll say it's a flat symbol for flat earth. There's that name. Penobscot. That doesn't sound right. Penobscot. Penobscot. I don't know how you pronounce that. Who knows? Anyways, flat earth asterisk. And this is weird. Look at here. That's a flat earth asterisk. There, and there. Whoa. And here. What is that? Is that not weird? What is that? Why is that there? Something's very odd there. There's some hanky panky going on right there. There's some kind of underground there. There's a drop in an underground right there. A lady in uniform. This right here is extremely strange to me. It looks like they've painted white paint onto the window, but why would you do that? And then why would you choose the flat earth symbol? Why would you use the flat earth asterisk? And look at this window here. It's all messed up or something. Something ain't right there. 27th oldest existing bank in Michigan will occupy this office when completed. So they're working on it. Okay, that tells me something. And look at this. Does that even look like it goes there? And look at here. It almost looks like it's like they've thrown things in to cover the holes. They don't look like they actually are made for that. It's like a hole, plugging of a hole. What the hell, man? That is super weird. Wait, state saving. Oh, so we got another bank coming. Okay. These are old ether lights. These are old ether lights too. There's more flat earth asterisks. Boy, they're going to make damn sure you know for a fact where you at. And it looks vanilla skied too. Most definitely. See if we find any proof. No, I can't prove it. Okay, Detroit, Michigan, circa 1910, Detroit Publishing Company. So the company, well, let me see. I better not. I don't know. Okay, this may be that. Doesn't have doesn't have anything on it. Okay, Detroit, Michigan, 1910. This is late. I have it labeled Detroit Publishing Company. I don't know if this is the Detroit Publishing Company or not. It could be. I know that the Detroit Publishing Company had offices in downtown of Detroit. This is obviously not downtown. And Detroit Publishing Company is the company that took the photographs that we look at here on MUDDIN with BEAGS. So they took these high resolution photographs. So that's why it's important to know that. Anywho, we got this weird sidewalk business here. Very odd. Openings to the underneath right there, which is kind of odd. What's really odd is this door underground, and I think it's interesting how they put this channel here, I guess for runoff water, and then the path leads right to the underground door. And you got Mudflood windows, big ass arched windows. Look at that brickwork. This just looks modified. Doesn't look right. And Detroit Photograph Company had a train that they ran around the country with, and they would take photographs of the United States. So they were a big deal for that. And what they did was they took these photographs and then sold them. They made them into postcards and sold them as postcards. Postcards were big back then. So, anyways, we got Detroit, Michigan, circa 1910, Woodard Avenue in winter attire. Okay. Rising in front of the church is one of the city's arc lamp moon towers. So there you go. Bill Miller flip. There's a moon tower for you. I know you like those. These are arc lights, and what they would do is they were like what we have as street lights today, and they would just light up an entire area. And there were many of these at one time, and the ones in Detroit, there were other cities that have them, but Detroit sold theirs to Austin, Texas, where they can still be seen today. Some of them, not all of them. Anywho, and y'all look cold. Just saying, just a little cold. Look at that wrought iron work there. Trees with snow and ice on them are so pretty. That's just my opinion. Porthole there. Wind catchers. Techie tech. After finial. Some more wrought iron work here. Ain't gonna see too much mud flooding here. Anyways, it's a pretty picture. And we got Detroit, Michigan, 1911 Dime Savings Bank under construction. And well, anything before 1942 is suspect to me. So even though this is a modern photograph and it is using, we got a torch field there. We're watching you, man, through the window. See, this is a good example of facading. You got your facade here, and then it's a brick building. So there's a lot more brick in our realm than we have any idea. This is interesting how they got the train track dug out. Interesting. And they're building this. But anyways, see here you got brick. You got steel up here. And one thing about this building that's very interesting is it's covered in flat earth asterisks. I find that very interesting. But I believe they had steel in the old world. Look at that brick they're getting ready to put in. I believe they had steel in the old world, and so I don't know what's going on here. I mean, they could have found this building and finished it out, and they're taking pictures of, completing a building that was already started. That's very possible. But I don't know. There's a mud flood going into the ground there, and I can't remember, but I think that they even put pavement light in front of this building when they were done with it, which is very interesting. Interested in these right here. Not sure what those are. A scaffolding, so sketchy looking. Big old building back there. Pretty. And a wind catcher there. At the fencing, at their antenna. Venetian shell. Now, I think we added that horse shit right there. We probably took that right off the roof and put it out that damn window. Does that look right to you? I don't think so. That's my opinion. There's that circle symbol, which is interesting. And look at all the flat earth asterisks. These guys are just going up. Man, that thing looks sketchy as hell. Yeah, I just don't think I would want to get on that thing. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I wonder how many men died doing this. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for why we have pictures like this. Not a good one. You got an actual, heavier lift crane here, which is interesting. Not a crane like we have today, but still a little better. So I don't know. Look at the detail on that building, man. And then there's this, I don't know, that's weird. That almost doesn't look right, but I don't know. There's another steel building going up. Look at that horse shit. That's a ladder. I don't think so. I don't want to get up that. Now, I don't know what's going on here. I thought I'd show it. I don't know how it fits in. Maybe somebody by seeing that will figure it out. Oh, we got a dirigible balloon LaVille de Paris built by Henry Deutsch. I don't know. Whatever. Figure it out. This dude. Anyways, it's a big old dirigible. And this one reminds me of a Macy's Day float. So cool. Look at this contraption. What the hell is that? I mean, how many people are they gonna get on that thing? It looks like it'll hold a lot. I don't know. I've heard this theory. And I haven't done the research on it because I don't really like. Sometimes you hear things you don't know where is this research coming from, and you don't know where to research it because it's I don't know. Maybe it's just people's thoughts. I don't know. But I keep hearing people talk about how they used the dirigibles, the airships, to bring in the materials, and I'm not the expert on this. It's just my thinking out loud. I'm not sure how that would work. I mean, what is the weight capacity of a dirigible? I mean, what kind of materials are we talking about? Can you lift more materials with an airship than you can, just using the trains and the horses and carts and stuff, or cars or trucks or something? I mean, can you I mean, how much? What is the weight? What is the lifting capacity of these airships? I mean, I just don't. I don't know if their lifting capacity is enough to lift enough to make it a viable option for moving the materials around. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. It's just my thinking. I don't know. Here's another picture of the same airship, and this is going. You know, it's just in its shed. And these sheds are weird too. They're always weird. Weird structures. They never build them normal. Why don't, you know? Why do they have to have a weird structure? Anyway, this one's excavations for New York Central Station in New York City. New York City, 1908. Let's get down in there. We've got these steam shovels here. These boys are busting out rock here. I believe these are like steam-powered hydraulic jackhammers. I believe I've seen those before. Bringing some kind of equipment here. Check out that guy taking photographs. Big ass building. Poreholes all the way across the top of that one. Got some ether finials up here. Well, I bet this is just a dangerous ass place to be working in, because there's a lot going on here. Ether finial, big ass arches. How crooked that line is. You know, one thing that's amazing. So we got some stone here. Just make sure y'all know that's stone and not. Does that look like any kind of brick? Let's make sure we understand that's stone and not brick, y'all. There's such a thing called stone in our world. Okay, need to understand that. I know that sounds ridiculous to most folks, to thinkers, you know, people with common sense, but sometimes we got to help the ones that aren't as gifted in the common sense department. And we got porthole here that's been blocked up. Ether antenna, smokestack, and smokestack, portholes, ether antenna with the ether finial up on top. Another same here. E47. In case you didn't know, they changed our timeline. Removed quite a few years. That looks like a circumpunk, which would be the symbol for the creator. It's like a porthole there. Flag on a flagpole. It's not a flagpole. Yeah, I bet people that when they first come across videos like this, and other people that do, you know, similar research, that they come across these videos are like, what are these people talking about? This, I bet it just is so confusing to hear different ideas of how reality works. I bet it just blows their damn mind. I don't even know what to say about all this, but I mean, you see, there's just a lot of craziness going on there. Faneuil Hall, Boston, Massachusetts, between 1890 and 1906. Shout out Boston Ray. Hey, Boston Ray, can you pronounce that for me? Put it in that Boston accent for me. Come on, Yankeeize it for me. There's Fred. Fred's Horse Built America. Got a cobblestone road. It might be a brick road either way. It is not Milton. I'm sorry. It's brick road. Lady in uniform. Perfect. Just absolutely perfect. Man in uniform. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. They're doing the Beatles walk. There's Fred. Fred's Horse Built America. And he is moving some gear today, I'll tell you that now. Old Fred got it going on. And we got steps up to the floor there, because we can't build on ground level, because we don't know how to do that yet, I guess. Da 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 dee da. Sunlight. Got little skylights there in there. I could make a case for this being a flat earth asterisk, but that's an arc light. Arch windows. That's a porthole that's open. Porthole that's open. And that's part of the wind catcher system, which is here. This is part of the wind catcher system. This is a coin. Okay. There's portholes. That's part of the wind catcher system. See how it opens up? And depending on which one you open up, gives more ventilation to different parts of the building. Just saying, you know. Oh, Boston Ray, there's your cricket. You were showing the cricket. You were all excited about the cricket. I know you've been in this building now because I remember watching your video on it. There's your cricket, Boston Ray. You wanted to see the cricket, there's the cricket. There's your cricket ether venial. That cricket's famous for something, I don't know. He'll tell you all about it. Go to Boston Ray channel. Boston Ray Mudflood Adventures. Taurus Field. Kind of looks like a bell's in there. It looks like a bell. Big ass bell. Yep, Boston Ray's been there. He's gotten video on that. He's got some real good video on that. Go check it out. Anyways. Parlor suites. Da da da. I think we took these right here off the roofs and you know, the ether antennas and stuck them on the side. I don't think that's original. I don't think gutters are original or downspouts. I think that we added those. These right here. I think we added those. That's just a thought. We got Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1908, Monroe Street. We got hats. The hat that talks. Okay, that's a little odd. And we got underground right here. And more right here. Yep, I'm going to show you some Mudflood there. Arched windows. Got these weird towers. You see these quite often. I don't know what they are. I'd like to know. This is a coin. In case you don't know what a coin is, it's that. That's pretty arched windows right there. There's a prism glass right there. Got another brick cobblestone road. Don't think it's, you know, melted, but, you know, that remains to be seen. I mean, all you got to do is take one of these bricks up, and there's probably a test you could find out that if, you know, if it's been melted. You know. There's a underground barbershop right there. See the underground right there. That's not a flat earth asterisk, but it's close. It's like they were trying to do it. It's like a flat earth asterisk that never grew up. It almost looks like they did it here though. Which, if they did it there, maybe these broke off or something, because they look smaller up here. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Man, it's a weird building. What a strange little Taurus. That's the wind catcher. Circuit pumped, symbol for the creator. It's an urn, otherwise known as a capacitor. More urns and capacitors. Ether antennas. Da-de-da-de-da-da. Look at this weird thing right here. Some sort of I don't know, electric or something. I don't know what he's up to. Lady in uniform. Boss man. Boss man. That's probably pavement light right there. Arc light. Prism glass. More prism glass here and here. And these are prism glass here. These are part of a wind catcher system too. Da-de-da-de-da. Urns, they're capacitors. Got their antenna up there. Wish you got that nose high in the air. I can't tell if that's pavement glass, but it's very possible because you got the prism glass here. Crooked ass pole. And this thing is just crazy looking right here. It really is pretty cool. Kind of think they took something off the top of that. Kind of looks very Vanilla Sky too. Anyways, New York Public Library is seen from the intersection of East 42nd Street and 5th Avenue, 1915. That's got a weird pavement light look to it there, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to move forward and not know. Check that out. Interesting. There's Fred's Horse Build America. Got your Tartarian lines out front, so you know where you're at. Big ass buildings. Diamond symbology. Got their finials up here. Got a little obelisk all over, so those would be some kind of tech. Eagle on the ball, representing your Phoenix and your Mercury. Mudflood winders here. Check that out. You know, it's interesting in the movie, what's that movie? I always forget the name of this movie. Day After Tomorrow. You know, when they're in the scene and they're getting out of the taxi cab and they're getting flooded out, they're running up, then they run up these steps here and they get inside here and then they run up and all this goes underwater, and you have the bottom, you know, when they go down later to make the phone call to his dad, he has to go down to the phone, the payphone down in the basement. And when they get down there, it's flooded. Well, it's flooded because when the water came in, it went right into the basement. I know it's a movie, but you know, it's interesting to think about it that way. Check that sucker out. Some cool cars around. Those are ether lights. Big old Mudflood winders. Arches. Tartarian lions right here. Torus fields. Oh, I can't tell what that is. We pounded that in there. Look how big those arches are. They're freaking huge. Fountains. Fountains are old world tech. Old ether lights here. Alright, that's about it for that. Okay, looking up Market Street from the from near ferry. Okay. Another look at San Francisco in the aftermath of the earthquake fire, otherwise known as Dew Attack, in 1906. So this is looking up the famous, you know, trip down Market Street. And here we have a cobblestone road. Can't tell too good what kind this is. Almost looks like, this looks like could be river rock, and the other over here looks like it could be brick. Hard to tell. And there's stone, but your meltology knuckleheads will say that this is all melted brick. So you know, go and pry one of these up and have it chemically analyzed and tell me if it comes up as a clay brick. Tell me if it looks like a clay brick. I'm just, you know, give me some data, give me some scientific evidence that shows that the elements that you're claiming are in it are in it. That's what I want to see. I want to see some evidence, and it's not my responsibility to prove your theory. It's not. I mean, it's your theory. Prove it. I've just unfortunately stumbled upon it, now that I've seen it, I mean, I can't believe that this theory's out there. And it's this cobblestone portion is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning of the trail. The more I've looked into this, the deeper the horse poo goes, and it's knee deep at this point. I mean, I'm just barely scratching the surface in my research on this. I'm just getting started. I'm getting warmed up. I'm getting my feet warm. I'm sticking my toe in the cold ass waters, and I'm finding that the water is very chilly, and I've got to do a lot of research to undo what's been done, but it's going to be undone. It's interesting, you know. You got this. The meltologist will say, I shit you not, they will say, this is red brick that has been melted. Okay. Now, I ain't found the video that says this specific building or this specific picture is a red brick right here that's melted. What I'm saying is, this is what they'll say if they see this. They'll say, look, it's melted brick. It's melted, and it's turned into a big old balloon. You know, and it's grown 15, 20 times the size of a regular brick. Okay, that's interesting. So the building's brick, as we can see. Okay, and this is facading, and we can tell there's brick up here. So the first question I have is, you know, you're saying that it melted the brick. Oh, by the way, the melting comes from underneath. Let's start there. The melting comes from underneath the ground, which, there's your first load of horse shit. Your second load of horse shit is that it targets certain portions of the block. Now, wait a minute. This over here didn't get melted. Doesn't look like to me. You know, this looks all fucked up here, but this looks like it not as bad. But wait, you know, this is supposed to be, they're saying that this is brick. That they're saying this right here, this obviously stone, is a brick. Okay? This is the theory. Now, this is what I'm telling you, is this is a stone facade over a brick building. This brick is behind. If you could get behind here, you'd see it's brick. Okay? I'm looking for a way to see through it, but the stone's too thick. It didn't fall through. But this is brick. The whole thing is brick, and it's got brick facade. Okay? Or stone facade, excuse me. Okay, it's been stone facaded. Okay, there's brick underneath the stone. Okay, is what I'm telling you. Okay, but the brick, the meltologists are going to tell you that this is brick that has melted. Okay, well, why didn't this brick melt? And you know what the answer is? This just kills me. I don't know. I don't know why this melted and this didn't melt. I can't answer that question. What kind of fucking research is that? What kind of horseshit, backwards ass research is that to say I don't know? To say it is this, but I don't know why. I mean, what are you saying? How, you can't. You're gonna swear up and down like your life depended on it that this is a brick, but this is a melted brick, and this brick is not melted brick because this brick didn't melt, but this brick did. I mean, this weapon that did this did a perfect line here. That is the perfect weapon. Okay? The U.S. government, if they got a hold of this weapon, would have a fucking field day. Oh, they already have that weapon. Yeah, they got that weapon because they melted the bricks. Where's the evidence? There's no... Oh, just because looking at a freaking picture, okay, walking up to this structure and putting your hand on it and saying, well, that's a brick, that's not research, that's not science. Pull the fucking thing off the wall, take it and get it analyzed, and when it comes back as some sort of stone, then shut the fuck up. Okay? It's real simple. You know, I've been awake since 2008, and I have fought ignorance so much during the last 14 years that I'm done being nice. I used to be nice about this stuff and try to pussyfoot around with people and you know, rub them the right way and be real easy on people, and no, I just smack them now. If you're talking stupid, I'm gonna tell you you're talking stupid. Okay, I'm done being nice. What nice got me nowhere. You can't help nobody being nice to them because they don't want to listen to you. Okay, so I'm gonna put out my ideas, and if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. Do I believe that that is a brick that is melted? No. No. Okay, no. 100% no. I do not believe that. I think for myself. I do not let others think for me. I make up my own damn mind. I heard your theory, I researched your theory, and I came back with, it is bullshit. That is an unscrubbed cartouche. Let's move forward. I'm not done. I'll be back on this. I'm not going to be done until I don't hear this theory anymore. Oh, and I'm breaking out the big guns on this one. Just so you know. The big guns are coming out. I'm loading my cannons as we speak. March 1865, Washington District of Columbia, 1st U.S. Volunteer Infantry, Hancock's Veterinary Corps on F Street Northwest. Okay. Anywho, ghost person. Okay. I guess they forgot to melt this road or put cobblestone down. Another ghost person. There's Fred and Wilbur, Horses to Build America. Got some mud floody doors there. This photo looks very staged. Everybody's looking at the camera. It's interesting. It looks like blue and gray. Like the blue and like two different armies. Don't it? I don't know. That's just odd. Maybe the Union had two different colors. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Everybody's standing at the camera. Everybody's at the camera. Why is everybody at the camera? Very odd. How do you get this many people to stare at a camera? And for what purpose? I don't know. Not sure. No, when I woke up, I at some point very early, I thought that I would do my best to help the worst of the worst. And what I mean by that is that I would try to help the people that nobody else wanted to help, because they were either too stupid, or they had too many problems, or they were mentally messed up, or you know, they had all kinds of issues you know, the way I looked at it was, if I can't help the worst of the worst, I can't help the best of the best. And it was kind of like a training exercise, a spiritual, workshop for myself too. We got Matawan Asylum, exercise yard for men. But I tried to help the worst of the worst. I really did. I'm not going to long details on it. But I tried to help some of the meanest rattlesnakes you've ever seen in your life. And the reason I did that was I thought spiritually that I could awaken, if I could awaken the worst of the worst, that I could, awaken anybody. I figured it'd be easy from there. It's like training. When you're training, you train harder than the actual race, so that when the race comes, the race is easier. That's the theory behind it. That's the idea behind it. And I found out in awakening that you can't awaken people. That's impossible. You have to awaken yourself. So I failed in that aspect, and I tried very hard. I spent many freaking hours trying to wake people up. People that, not people, I mean, the some of the sorriest sons of bitches you've ever met in your whole life. And I tried so hard. I'd sit there and talk to them. I'd read them books. I would watch videos with them. I would let them listen to radios. I tried everything. And I'm not talking about one or two people. I'm talking about a lot of people. Okay. And I wasted a lot of time with dumbass people trying to wake them up. And I found that you can't. And it's not that they're dumb, or that they're bad people, or they're sorry people, or they're shitty people. It's that they're people. They're humans. And you have to wake up yourself. So that's a lesson that I highly suggest for you, is to not worry about waking people up. You can give them little tidbits here and there. You can give them little nudges, but don't try to wake them up. Worry about yourself. Minneapolis, Minnesota, circa 1905, Chamber of Commerce. And what are we going to find? Wheat flour testing laboratory. Where's the cobblestone brick testing laboratory? That's what I want to know. There's Fred. Fred's a horse that built America, in case you're unaware and uninformed. Not sure what that is. But anyways, there's a horse field. So that's, so I'm a little bit, look at this Mudflood area here. How they, that's so crappy. Wow. Got underground right here. So I'm abrasive now. I don't put up with the shit no more. I used to be real easy on people, and take it. It's like when you first awaken, you're all about love and light, and you want to treat everybody, so softly. And I tried that approach, and through years of abuse from us people that are asleep, the sheeple is I've become abrasive, and that's just who I am. I'm like a bull in a china shop when it comes to awakening and spirituality and research. I charge in, and I take no prisoners, and I try to knock it into people's noggins. I don't hold their hand anymore. And when I that's beautiful right there. And when I see something that I don't agree with, I speak up. I speak my mind. I don't look at this horse shit awning. God, you know, I make it known. Look, I could if I hold my tongue when I disagree with something, Torsfield, um, it doesn't do you or me any good. Pavement light right there and there, coal hole cover there. That's interesting right there. But you know, it doesn't do you any good if I know you're wrong and I don't say anything and say, hey, you're wrong. I disagree. You know, everybody's afraid to disagree with everybody now. Fuck that. If I disagree with you, I'm going to tell you. It's okay, you might disagree with me. That's fine. But you know what? At least you've got a choice. You can make up your own damn mind as an outsider to the conversation. You know, if you hear one side, well, that's what you got. You got one side. You got one thought. Okay? And if somebody spouts off a thought and it sounds right, okay, because they believe in it and they're portraying it as, I'm the truth, I got the truth here, you know, then you're going to probably latch on to that. Montgomery, Alabama, circa 1906, Commerce Street and Court Square. Oh, this is going to be cool. So this is one or two pictures. So that's Boss Man going to work. There's another cobblestone brick road, which is not, I repeat, is not melted. Anyways, where was I? No, but I don't. We need to tell each other if we forget hurting other people's feelings. If we disagree, we need to say we disagree. And we need to say why we disagree. And we don't have to argue about it. We don't have to, you know, there's no reason to throw somebody under the bus because you disagree with them. I mean, I don't think it's necessary to throw somebody under the bus when you disagree with them. I think that's a shit tactic. Now, sometimes people need, you know, you're going to have to throw somebody under the bus because, well, they deserve it. When they deserve it, throw them under the bus. And run back over them when you're done. Etherfinial, or etherfinials, etherfencing, etherfinial. That one looks like it's got lights on it. That's interesting. But you know, I don't, you know, if you disagree with everybody's so damn politically correct and afraid to say things to people that are going to hurt their feelings. Well, damn it, that you ain't gonna get nowhere if you don't. Sometimes you got to break an egg to make an omelet. You got to tell people how you feel. If you hold it in and don't tell them, they're never going to know. Then they're going to walk around thinking everything's just hunky-dory, and they're never going to know, you know, that their ideas are not right. And you never get anywhere. We never make any headway. Poor hole. Etherfinial. That one's cool. So, I mean, you know, if we disagree, that's fine. It's okay to disagree. In disagreement comes, you know, different ideas. You know, look. I look at this brick road, okay? This is a brick cobblestone road to me. It is not old world. That's my opinion, okay? Now, others people will look at this and they'll, I'm not saying this one specifically because I don't know. I haven't heard them say this one specifically. But there are roads, many of them, that they have looked at that look just like this. And they say, that is melted brick. Okay? Well, you know what? Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe this is some alien technology that it was shitted out the back of a donkey's ass. Okay? I don't know. I haven't seen the donkey that shits out the bricks that looks like cobblestone. But I'm not saying there's not. I mean, there could be. And I may be proven wrong that this is a brick cobblestone road. And the other group may be proven wrong that this is a brick melted road. And it might end up being an alien donkey poop road. I don't know. That's possible. But by putting the ideas out there, maybe we'll get to the truth. But when we just spout one idea, okay, and we don't ever call it out for what it is, that say, hey, the emperor's wearing no clothes, then we never find out the emperor's wearing no clothes. Everybody's going to be looking at the emperor, and they're just going to ignore the fact that they're wankers hanging out while they're walking down the road. Okay? So we need to call out and say the emperor's wearing no clothes when the emperor's wearing no clothes. Torsfield. Let's get up here. Sorry, I'm running my chops. There's that communications distribution trunk tower. There is prism lighting right there, and there's some kind of underground business going on right here, but I can't tell what. Anytime you see this wrought iron fencing here, there's something going on. Women's in uniform. Looks like a ladder lean there. Oh, come back to that. That big old dome back there. Ether antennas. Well, let's look at this beautiful fountain here. This would be old world tech, I believe. And this is a flat earth asterisk here. You got a Torsfield here. And Fleur-de-Lis here. This is all representing the flat earth right here. Every bit of that. I believe fountains had something to do with they were some sort of technology. That is a beautiful fountain. Very nice. Very nice. And the flip side. How you like that? That's pretty cool, right? Just turn the camera around, look a different direction. Pretty cool. Check that dude out. Creepy. That is a cool fountain, I have to admit. Look at that spraying up. That is so cool. How cool. Got an underground right here. Look at that little cart there. That's cool. There's Fred. Fred's a horse to build America. I don't know what that is back there. That's odd. That's odd too. And check out these trees in the middle of the road. That's so weird. Okay. Big old cupola. Probably a wind catcher. Ether antenna on top. Ether finial. No, for the record, melted buildings. I do believe that there are hundreds of thousands of melted buildings in our realm, and these ain't them. I believe that the melted and it's interesting. I have been over this. It seems like I'm having to repeat myself like a freaking parrot. But there's that communications trunking tower. Maybe an eagle. That's hard to say. No, that's a gargoyle, I think. Hard to see. Ether fencing, ether antenna, big old ether antenna. Urns that are capacitors. Look at that beautiful work. Oh my god. No, I keep. I don't understand it, and it's weird. It seems like from where I'm sitting, it seems like when I talk to Mudflood researchers, that they understand very clearly that the melted buildings happened in a much earlier reset. All the ones I talk about, and I talk to the big people, Okay, the big dogs. Okay, the big names. Okay, the ones you know, the ones you look up to when you're looking into Mudflood research and you're saying, yeah, they're the big dogs. Those are the ones I talk to. Okay, and they tell me they agree with the same thing, that the mudflood buildings were melted. The melted buildings happened in a much previous reset, a much earlier reset, a reset that happened long before the mud flood. Okay, and there's an arc light, ether clocks are expensive. So it's interesting, because when I talk to the mud flood researchers, you think of the top names in mud flood researchers, and I'm telling you that they're saying that the melted buildings happened in a much previous reset, a much earlier reset. That's what they're saying. Okay, I'm telling what they're telling me. Okay, and this is what I believe too. But when I talk to melted buildings researchers, they seem to think that the melted buildings was at the same time, or that everything is melted, or they don't seem to see. I'm not a melted buildings theorist, so I can't really speak for them. But it seems to me that what they seem to think is that it's all one thing. Whereas the mudflood researchers, this is New York City, Fifth Avenue Parade of Olympic Athletes, 1912 Democratic Press banner is prominent. 1912, just so you know. Anyways, but there seems to be a distinction. Eagle representing the Phoenix and Mercury. Now I could be wrong that there's a guy hanging outside of a building, big ass archway. Clocks are expensive. Woodrow Wilson, National Democratic Headquarters. It just seems like they don't. Okay, we got a bunch of people hanging out the window. Why do they do that? Look at that. Oh my God. There's more people over here. This is a phenomenon that you see a lot in the old photographs. It just kills me every time I see it. No, I just find it interesting that the two camps, that the mudflood the mudflood researchers and the melted building researchers can't seem to find a happy medium there. It's and maybe I'm not seeing that portion of it right. I don't know. Maybe I need clarification on that, but it just seems to me that they don't seem to get that the melted buildings happen in a much later or much earlier reset. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just what it seems like they're saying. Maybe they're not explaining themselves well enough. I don't know. I'm not a melted. Got a flat Earth asterisk. Oh, this is Nantucket. What the hell? Nantucket. I can't even pronounce it. Beach, Massachusetts. Where did they come up with these freaking names? 1905 bird's eye view on Paragon Park from Rockland House. Excuse me. First name's got me all messed up. Flat Earth asterisk, in case you need that. Know where you are. There's more flat Earth asterisks here. And we got knob and tube wiring with incandescent lights on there, so let's not get that confused as being Antiquitech, because that has been theorized and I had to squash that. So I'm getting tired of squashing theories, but if I gotta squash a theory, I gotta squash a theory. And we got flat Earth asterisks all over this thing in case you need that. Got more knob and tube wiring with incandescent light, Phoenician shell, some kind of castle thing. Flat Earth asterisks all over here, all over here. They're gonna make sure you know where you're at. Ladies in uniform here. More flat Earth asterisks around here. Good grief. There's Fred's Horse Build America. Knob and tube right there. Knob and tube right there and there. Knob and tube wiring. I did a video on knob and tube wiring a little while back, a couple videos back, and you can go check that out. Flat earth asterisks over here. It's got a Moorish look to it. Interesting. Knob and tube wiring. Yeah, I did a video on knob and tube wiring. So we could dispel the myth that these buildings are lit with Antiquitech. There are buildings that are lit with Antiquitech, and these ain't them. But until you do your research, you might think otherwise. Knob and tube wiring with incandescent lights. So, yeah, I stomp on toes if I have to. I don't like doing it, and if, you know, people get pissed off, it doesn't bother me. I don't really, I'm not looking to make friends here. Although I have made some really good friends, doing this. I've met some wonderful people, but if I piss somebody off, well, they need to look in the mirror and decide why they're getting pissed off, because I'm not going to worry about it. It's not my focus. I got better things to worry about. New York, 1904, Morningside Park, Cathedral of St. John the Divine under construction. And they're talking about this over here. Wow. Good grief. That's incredible. Now, I don't know about the history of this church, but I find it very interesting. This is very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what's going on there. That's how you make an arch. Build the wood structure underneath, and then build on top of that, and then you take all the wood down. Look at this big old crane. Very interesting. And what is this doodad? I mean, that don't even make sense. Why is this here? This looks like it's part of the church, but the church isn't built. I don't know, that's odd. Epithelial. There's some weirdness there. I don't know. I don't understand that. Somebody else gonna have to tell me about that. I don't know. Ether antenna, portholes up here, wind catcher, cupola, big old arches. Look at that dome back there. This picture is definitely vanilla skied. Big old buildings. Look at the portholes all across the top there. See that? Portholes. Looks like a starfort wall right there. Right there. I don't know if it is. It just looks like that. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Look how anomalous it looks right there. It doesn't. That doesn't look right. I don't know if that's coming out, but if you look at this picture, it's got this weird anomaly right here on the edge of the skyline. I don't know what that is. It's strange looking. Cupola, wind catcher, some big ass thing back there. Cupola, wind catcher. Okay, wow, that's a lot. That's a big picture. A lot going on there. There's Fred's the Horse Built America. That's odd. You got the tracks here and they just disappear. What? Maybe they turn right here? I don't know. That got me on that one. Don't know. Got some underground here. Well, let me get back here. Got some underground here. Check that out. Underground. Going underground to the mud flood. Oh, more mud flood. Lots of mud flood. Look at all them. Look at all that muddy floody. We got a vacant lot here. Interesting. Got another cobblestone brick. In case you need that. More underground, 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 more underground. Underground all the way up. It's everywhere. No, you know, it's very interesting. My mind is running all over the place tonight. Phoenician shells there, arches. You know, you think about how you know before you wake up, you know you had your heroes and your people you make somebody, you know, people you might have idolized or people you looked up to, you know. And you know, let's say it's so weird. Doesn't that look like a star fort right there? Look at that little star forty looking thing there. I don't know where this is. I don't know, New York, but I don't know. But you know, in our community, we have our rock stars, you know. We all know who the rock stars are. And let me get to another picture. New York 1910, Plaza Hotel, yet another view of this aristocratic edifice. Love how that's labeled. But you know, we got our rock stars in the Mudflood community. There's Fred. Fred's the horse built America. And you know, there's a Pavement Light and Mudflood Winders. You know, normally, like, okay, let's say you're a fan, big fan, you're a huge fan, you really appreciate Michael Jordan. Okay, but you're not gonna be able to get in touch with Michael Jordan. There's no way. You might be able to meet. Got some Mudflood right there. You might old Ether Lights. You might be able to, you know, go to a meet and greet and maybe get a basketball signed by Michael Jordan, or a shoe, or a basketball card, or whatever. You might be able to, you know, meet Michael Jordan. But as for having an actual, you know, real conversation with Michael Jordan, I mean, and I'm talking about a real, like, personal conversation where you're talking about real personal shit, you know, stuff that matters. Okay, Mudflood. Okay, you're not gonna meet Michael Jordan and have, look at this thing. Jeez, that's crazy looking. Wow. You're not gonna meet Michael Jordan and have a real deep conversation with him. Okay, he ain't gonna give a shit about you. You know, he ain't gonna talk to you. He don't give a damn about you. The only thing he cares about is getting wherever he's going that ain't got you in the picture. You know what I mean? He don't care about you. He don't know you. He don't want to know you. And you ain't never going to get in the room to get to know him. Okay? Check out that business. Man. Ether antenna. So, you're not going to have a, you know, a one-on-one conversation, chat. You're never going to get to know Michael Jordan. Or whoever your hero or people you look up to are. Like, you know, famous people. Or why do we have people on top of the building? Very weird. What a building. So, you know, but in our community, the Mudflood community, there's that weird symbol. The freaking thing is odd. I see it all over the place. There's that weird circle symbol. Got a diamond symbology. Got a unscrubbed cartouche. I guess that's stands for Park Plaza, maybe? I don't know. It's double P. Who knows? But you know, in our Mudflood community, we've got our rock stars also. You know, we've got our Michael Jordans. I'm not no Michael Jordan here. Okay, we all know that. I'm just a small country beagle. Okay, I'm just an ankle biter. But you know, that being the point, um, you know, as a small ankle biter, even though I am small, okay, comparatively, to the big dogs, to the rock stars, to the Michael Jordans of the Mudflood community, um, you know, I got these guys on speed dial. Okay, I got I talk to these guys behind the scenes. I talk to them in live chats. I talk to them in um, on Skype, on Zoom, and I talk to them. And half of the conversations don't even get, you know, shared with the public because they're so personal and not for the public. You know, not all conversations are public worthy. Y'all don't need to hear the ins and outs of everything we talk about because they're personal conversations. But my point is that it's wonderful. This community is wonderful. There's something that they've done. There's that image right there. I don't know. It might just be a scratch or something, but that's when I see stuff like that, it makes me look into photoshopping. You got as below, so below down here, as above, so below, and so below. As okay, you got pyramid, a diamond symbology there. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. No, but my point is that it is a wonderful community. Now I know that not everybody in the community can call up or chat with these rock stars, but my point is that if you do, you know, the work to become a Mudflood researcher, okay, getting in the hush it, Zippy skip it. I said hush it. You know, getting into the you know, conversations with your, you know, the people that you look up to in this community is actually a doable thing. I can actually have a real live, personal, deep, thought-provoking, amazing, incredible freaking conversation with the top tier of the Mudflood community, and they're much better in that personal setting than they are on their videos. I will promise you, these people are so cool. They're so real and down to earth and Phoenician shell. You just wouldn't believe it. So I just think you should know that you know, if you are new to this research and you want to start making videos, just know that if you do good work and you know, you keep your nose clean, you know, you're not some asshole, okay? You know, you got to treat others, you know, with, you know, pretty much respect, you know, you know that, you know, you can get in the room with Jordan, you know what I mean? And you can have you got a 4 lines for the 4 here. I'm just pointing that out. Fractal, you know, that's very fractal right there. Philip talked about this fractaling. Interesting. Porthole. Oh, this is the post office building in Washington since circa 1911. About the closest the District of Columbia ever came to having a skyscraper. Yeah, I believe that. This is how the Washington Monument is the tallest structure in Washington. You're not allowed to build anything higher than it. Okay, I need my Roman number people to give me that number. I don't do Roman numbers. Porthole. These lights are incredible. Old Ether lights here and here. Look at these arches. These are beautiful cars. But anyways, I just think it's so freaking cool that you can get in the Now in my life I've met countless famous people. I do not know how many famous people I have met. I could not tell you. It's more than I can remember. Just because of the work I did. And I mean, I have not just met them. I mean, like, I've known people. I mean, I have, hung with these people in a lot of different situations. I've got Mudflood Underground here. So, not with Michael Jordan, but I have had some very close experiences, and I have known some very famous basketball players in my time. So Michael Jordan, no, but the names that I have hung out with are, you would know who I'm talking about. There'd be no question. But that's just because of the work I did. I mean, it was my job to, literally my job to meet people like that, and but I would much rather meet the rock stars of the Mudflood community than Michael Jordan any day. Michael Jordan's not my hero. I'm just using him as an example. I don't give a shit about Michael Jordan. I mean, who cares? Although he is a Carolina boy, although he sucked when he was at Carolina, he was a terrible basketball player when he was at Carolina. Although Carolina sucks, and North Carolina State University is the college of choice for ACC basketball, if you have any sense to yourself, and that's just firm positive on that. If you don't know anything about ACC basketball, then you don't understand that. But we do North Carolina State here in this household. That's just the way it is. So, but I don't care about Michael Jordan. I don't give a damn. But the rock stars of the Mudflood community. This is the Tombs Prison, New York, and Manhattan Criminal Courts building, November 1907. There's grates to the subway. There's Pavement Light. Those are the old bullseye ones. Those are really old. And this thing is just incredible. But no, it's just really cool that this community is a lot cooler than people even realize. That's what I'm saying, I guess. I need to put together an open invitation for people that I want to talk to, because there are people that I haven't met yet. I would love to talk to Conspiracy RS. Shout out Conspiracy RS. Shout out Mind Unveiled. Shout out Jared Boosters. I have to think if there's any others that I would, this open invitation. I'm going to be doing live streams, so open invitation for you guys to come on and chitty chat. You guys are on my list of people that I would love to talk to. I just think your work is just well worth being a part to talk to you. So this is weird, this anomaly here. That must be a problem in the negative. Okay, etherphenial. But I got. There's people I would love to talk to. There's people a lot of people. I'm not interested in talking to. They're just not. They don't have. I don't know. There's people I resonate with, people I don't resonate with, and I don't believe everything all these channels say. I mean, there's things I disagree, and I'm sure there's things they disagree with me on, and that's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. We can disagree, and another thing is I don't agree to disagree. That is not something I do. I don't agree to disagree. That's if you decide to give up the argument, then that's you conceding. I don't concede. If I've been beaten, if I've been defeated in the argument, then okay, fine. But I don't agree to disagree. That's a cop-out. So, that's just the way I am. Yep, boss man. This is a Treasury building on 15th Street and Executive Avenue in 1910. So, Washington, D.C. You got Torres Fields. That's a big building. That is a big, big, big old building. So, anyways, I'm trying to think if there's any other channels. I'd love to have Dane. I know this isn't a Mudflood research, but Dane Calloway. I would love to have Dane Calloway on my channel. I'd love to talk to Dane Calloway because he's not a mudflooder, but his research, I believe, links up to the mudflood. And I think that he if he could hear the mudflood theory and see the mudflood theory, I think that it would help his research. Clocks are expensive, but Dane Calloway would be on my list of people that I would that open invitation to Dane Calloway. And there's another guy out there that does the same type of research as Dane. I can't pronounce the dude's name, so I just, I don't even, I can't even plug him because I can't. How can, if you can't, you got to make your name, you got to make your channel name something people can pronounce. Okay, if you can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you. Washington D.C. Union Station Concourse, 1921 to 1922, and they got flat Earth asterisks all over the ceiling. Just so you know, I believe this is technology. I believe that this helped move the ether around, the energy or something. I don't know. More flat Earth asterisks here, in case you need some of those. In case you forget what kind of realm you're in. Torresfield to the taxis. I've talked to. I tell you. Now I want to be clear here. Philip Drozdinen, I hope I said that right. In Russia, I love his work. I think he's very interesting. I learned a lot from Philip when I was waking up. I still watch Philip's work. Big shout out to Philip. I would love to chat with Philip, but I don't want to. And the reason is that I have watched him chat with other people, specifically from America. And there is a this is Washington D.C. 1925 Brazilian Embassy, Henry Adams House, 1603 H Street Northwest. In the late 1920s, the house was razed and replaced by the Hay Adams Hotel. But Philip, he speaks good English, but I don't think that his English, I think he has trouble in his English translation sometimes, and I think that he doesn't get sarcasm and jokes very well. And I have seen him get pissed off at people because he doesn't understand their sarcasm. And the people aren't being mean to him. It's just that they're being sarcastic from an English perspective, and he's being offended by it. And I'm a sarcastic person. That's a fleur-de-lis representing the flat Earth, and a Mudflood window, by the way. And this is just amazing arch. Check out this door. Beautiful. This arch is incredible. Look at this thing. What's going on there? What is that, dude? I don't even know. But you know, I would love to talk to Philip, but I do not want to insult Philip. A tourist field. By chatting with him. I don't want to start a conversation. Scrubbed cartouche over there with Philip, and it'd be, you know, that would be wonderful to talk to Philip, because he's, I mean, just his research is so wonderful. I don't want to offend him. I don't want to. I've seen him get offended, and by people, you know, by Americans, and it's not because they were being mean. It's because I don't think he understand. I don't think he translated in his mind what they were saying properly when they were being sarcastic, and it offended him. And I don't want to have that. I don't want to do that to him. You know, this could be considered a diamond symbology. Check out this archwork. Jeez. Incredible. And what, I mean, damn, look at that. It's like Celtic or something. I don't even know. It's juicy. Amazing work. Little birds in there. That's so cool. Look at it just keeps going up with the brick. That's a lot of brick. Wonder how many courses of brick that is. And this downspout here is phenomenal. Not this part isn't cool, and that's just nothing. But I mean, that's really just nothing. But I didn't look to see if there's any. No, there's no payment. Like, moving on. Washington D.C. 1920 O.J. DeMole Company auto car trucks. So we got an electric car. Take that, Elon. But anyways, on my list of people I'd love to talk to but won't, out of respect, is Philip. And then again, maybe one day I'll change my mind on that. This photo is just so weird. I wanted to show this one because it's okay. After extensive improvements, this building will be the new home of the Howard Foley Company Electrical Engineers, Contractors, Dealers. Will open in or about April 15th. Blah 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 blah. And we got check it out right there. But this is just so interesting. You got this. You got these Mudflood windows down here. Okay, and you got this. They've obviously replaced the bricks here. Everything this lighter color is replaced brick. Okay, and they've added a steel I-beam. Okay, across as the header. Now, if we know that they have replaced that, they fixed that, then we question, well they did it over here too. They replaced this. Then we question what was there. Now here's what I think. I can't see right here. I can't speak for that area right there. I can't see it well enough. But if we look here, we got 3 windows. 1, 2, 3 with arches. 1, 2, 3 with arches. And then you look down here. You got arch window, and then I don't know what was here. But you look, see, this is in line with this, and this is in line with this. I think that this building had 3 windows here, and at least 2 windows here, possibly 3. I just can't tell. Let's see, that comes down. It was whatever was here has been, you just can't tell. They took it all the way out. Okay, I think what they're doing, okay, they took this window out because they're going to put stairs here. There was a window here, there was an arch here. I think that this is a building being in the middle of being changed over from the old world to a new look. And I think these were 3 arched windows. I think there was 3 arched windows here. And I think this sucker goes way on down in the ground. I think there's whole nother level here. So you got a 3-story building here above ground. And you got another story. So that's at least a 4-story building. And that doesn't include the door. So where's the door? There might be another level below that. Or maybe one of these was the door, but I don't know. Those windows they're awful small for a door, so I kind of thinking there's another level. I don't know. Just me thinking. I don't know. That's a granite sidewalk. In case you've never seen granite sidewalks, I believe that's a granite sidewalk. I think that's a granite sidewalk. Yeah, I believe that's granite sidewalk. Okay. Got Washington, D.C., 1922, Wearley front. Well, I don't know what that means. Got coal hole cover there and there. Bricks. Look at the bricks going down in the ground here. That's ventilation to the underground right there. And coal hole cover. Ventilation underground right there. Trap door to the underground there. There's some sort of underground action right here. Can't tell exactly what. When you see this wrought iron stuff, start looking down. Oyster House. Boy, I hadn't had raw oysters in a long time. I hadn't had them too much. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I got a lobster here. I have partaken in the oyster shelling. It's fun to do every now and then. I mean, it's scrub cartouche, Florida Lee representing the flat Earth, scrub cartouche, Keystone. It's going up. Oh, and then there. Diamond symbology. Arched windows. Alright, moving on. And we got Niagara Falls from the Canadian shore with Niagara George Railroad, 1905. So there's your railroad. And it's interesting how the railroads ran with the canals and the, you know, I think there's a connection there. That's something that Michelle Gibson's also a theorizer of. I think that's a correct theory. I believe the canals are old world, and I believe the trains running beside the canals is old world. Check out that sorry little boat. There's Niagara is some high weirdness. There's something going on in Niagara. You see these old pictures. I mean, this is just showing Niagara basically, but there was some old world shit going on in Niagara. Got their antenna. Something old over there. Got something going on over here. But it's just a beautiful place. Yeah, it's it's funny. It's reminded me of, oh god, I was in, I think, Ohio, I want to say, something like that, and I had a option to go to Niagara Falls and see that, or I had the option to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was young, and of course I chose the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And so I drove up there to go see it, instead of going with another one of the guys on my crew, and he went to Niagara. And so I went by myself to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he went by himself to Niagara, which I wish I had done, because when I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I got there 1 week before it opened. It wasn't open yet. This is so I didn't get to see anything. It was a wasted day, but I could have seen this. I never got to see it. Oh, the decisions we make. We just got to do better tomorrow. This Biggs out.
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.